So you should not be confused, because the true self is already present inside you. You are not supposed to create a new self. It's already there. And you are not going to build any sort of new vision. It's already there. You are simply going to reveal the spiritual self. Remember, if you are going to use your ordinary mind, it means you are going to use a fraction of yourself and partial thinking. It's an ordinary mind, ordinary conditional mind that are tuned and trained to see the material objects only. It has its own mathematics. And the challenge is, and because of all these things, it fights with other people and it fights with the self also. Haven't you seen a person fighting with himself or herself? Half of the time a person usually spend a good time fighting with the self, not happy with the self. I have a dark complexion, my height is not good, my teeth are not good, है ना? तो वो उसकी अपनी फाइटिंग हो रही होती है. So ordinary discursive mind that goes on talking in your head all the time, it creates a lot of things inside you. You have been conditioned from an early age to do everything from your mind. We are slaves of our ordinary mind. Whatever comes inside our mind is the last word. None of us is able to handle our own minds. Once the mind starts shouting, we start running with the mind. We also start shouting. So spiritual perception. Practice to do the ordinary perception business and result with your talking mind. As I already told you, talking mind is a layer which is extremely undesirable for any form of spiritual perception. The first thing is to work on your ordinary mind. If you want to become the spiritual pacer, you have to work on your ordinary mind. So our first technique is focused to tame and to tie this discursive mind. If this mind is talking and shouting all the times, you will not be able to develop any sort of spiritual perception, because spirit is present in silence. The silence is a property of spirit, and the spirit lives in silence. If there is a noise, if there is a sound, no spiritual perception will develop. So again, I am continuously giving you one message. Do not force. Do not force. Stop doing everything. Do not confuse yourself. Just be aware of truth. The truth is, what is the truth? The Almighty is the truth. The only truth on the visible and non-visible universe, the only truth is Almighty. Whether you conceive this idea, whether you reject this idea. Just aware, allow what is hidden in the depth to come through and be revealed to your consciousness. Don't do anything. Let things happen. Follow what comes. In the physical world, when you want to do something, you have to do some effort. But in the spiritual world, everything is reverse. Everything is effortless. This is a sign. If you are exerting on something, it means it is material. And if the things are happening effortlessly, it means they are real. They are more accurate. Because effort is required. Once you are not spending or investing any effort, then who is doing this for you? It's an Almighty. If the things are happening effortlessly in your life, it is a sign of spiritual and divine mercy. If the things are happening effortlessly. If you are not exerting yourself, then who is exerting? If I am not driving a car, then who is driving a car? Because a car needs a driver. This is the bottom line. So this is a mirror struggle. In GCLP, we call it mirror struggle. First skill, creative letting go. If you want to do something, you have to let it come to you. It's a new skill which has to be developed, creative letting go. Just be aware of truth and everything will happen automatically. And the consciousness and the spirituality will be revealed to you. So the summary, this is the first skill. This is a summary of first skill. Do not force. Just be aware of truth. Discover your own essential values. Law of effort. Remember law of effort and effortlessly. Creative letting go. So the basic first skill was do not exert yourself. Things will automatically happen. Just be aware about the existence of truth and reality. You have to learn this skill. This should be the part of your second nature. Awareness of truth and reality. The second is never try to visualize or imagine anything. During the GCLP practice, you will be able to visualize so many things. But never try to visualize and imagine anything by yourself. If images, lights, spiritual beings or anything else comes to your vision, that's equally fine. But don't try to make them. Don't try to induce them. Don't do any effort to induce anything. Oh, I'm unable to see any light. My bystander is continuously saying that he is continuously experiencing something. And I think I'm losing the game. So at this moment, you will try to exert yourself. Oh, yes, I've got something. No, please never try to visualize anything by yourself. Do not actively do anything. Do not visualize any pattern or any field of consciousness. Please don't do this. Don't exert. Don't force yourself. If the things are automatically coming, yes, welcome them. Why this thing is very important? Why I'm saying never ever try to visualize or imagine anything. Why I'm saying never exert. Why? Assume a true angel comes to you. Because spiritual seeking, spiritual pacing is a game of metaphysical experiences. It is very likely the angel may come to you, or you may see a true angel, or you may talk with any angel. It's not a big deal. Assume a true angel comes to you. And every time, every day, previously, if you have been trying to visualize the angels for the last couple of months, then how will you know whether this angel is a true angel? Because this true angel will be very much different from your visual experiences. Because you are unable to visualize the true things. You are not able to visualize the true things. Or this is the one that you have created through your ordinary mind. So you will be in totally confused position. And it is very likely that you will accept the angel that you have created in your mind and you will reject the true angel. This is the loss. So this is the second skill. It's very important. These are the skills I am teaching you. Everything is not the development of perception or imagination or close eye experiences or open eye experiences, but you have to learn a series of skills. The first skill we have already discussed. Do not exert, do not focus, do not spend any energy, but just be aware of the truth. And the second skill I am telling you, don't do anything. Never try to imagine something by yourself. The real challenge is not to get into the perception of images and lights. This is a real challenge. During GCLP practice, yes, the visions will come, the images will come, the lights will come, the sounds will come, the thunders will come, the evils will come, the angels will come. Yes, of course, once you are in the spiritual journey, this thing will definitely happen. Sometime during the dreams, these things will happen. The real challenge is once these visions appear, how to distinguish what is true and what is the false and fancy of your untrained ordinary mind. What is because of indigestion? What is if you are experiencing anything and it is the outcome of your last day night nihari that you had in the dinner and your stomach is full of air. So how will you differentiate between the true imagination and the false and fancy items that were created by your mind? So how to handle this challenge? The word of advice for all of you, be spontaneous, never plan or try to attract the vision. It's very important. These are essential parts and laws of the game. Never ever try to plan anything. Never ever try to attract any vision. Never ever try to create any image in your brain. Just practice the GCLP that we are going to discuss, throat friction methods and other. Wait for the things to happen spontaneously, effortlessly. If the things are not happening, it does not mean that you are at a losing end. If the things are happening, it does not mean that you are winning the game. Both are the equal possibilities. The grace of Almighty and your practice, persistence and patience, PPP. It's another good PPP. Will make it much easier to reach the stage. You should practice, persistent and patient. Before I take you into the actual drill, it's not the T20 game that, or it's a remote control, bung, and the air condition is on. The matchstick is thrown and the stove is on. No. वो कहते हैं ना, if it is so easy, if the PhD is so easy, everybody would get the PhD degree. But if you are able to follow the skill number 1 and skill number 2, then you can trust on your vision. So this is the, if you are in the state of PPP, then only you can trust your experience. And now I'm going to give you the mathematical outcome. Something respectable to think of is that when there is nothing to believe, there is nothing to doubt either. Since you are not trying to make anything up, don't waste your time worrying about whether you are really seeing what you are seeing. Keep on practicing GCLP. Desirable to reach the desirable validity and reliability and your own spiritual unfolding. Practice makes a man perfect. आगे आंसर करता हूं. As the spiritual perception start echoing, this is the most critical part. As the spiritual perception start echoing inside you and will become clearer and clearer, and repeatedly same thing will happen, then only you can trust them. Have you got my point? If a same angel is continuously visiting you, same angel, every time, 16 times, 20 times, 30 times, same angel, then you can trust your experience with same configuration, because evil energies cannot maintain the same configuration. This is the hit. If it is a divine item, then only it will be particular shape all the times. But if there is a change, it means it is false. The fourth skill, very important. Don't examine experience during the experience. Do not try to examine as soon as something happens, or otherwise you will drop the spiritual perception directly, because you will be caught straight back into your own rumbling mind. Your rumbling mind will misguide you, because now you are entering in the actual experiences. So, important key to improve the spiritual perception hidden in the cultivation of the higher form of stillness, silence and stillness. This is very important. The capacity not to react when something takes place inside. Once the experience is over, you can discuss. Once the experience is over, then you can discuss with your mentor. But never try to start examining during the process. If something is continuously happening, of course, because the learning is totally dependent on the guidance of your mentor. Your mentor, your spiritual mentor will take you to the pathway. Otherwise, you will be lost in the darks of the illusions. Spiritual consciousness experiences are just like a seeds. It is when you focus silently digest confidently. This is very important. Focus silently, digest confidently. Then they will mature into greater realization of awareness of truth and reality. And remember once again, do not examine the experience during the experience. Now diagnose your own spiritual weakness. Generally, because of two major reasons, people are spiritually defenseless. Firstly, they are not able to recognize the negative energy and what caution is required. Secondly, they have not been skilled to cover their own aura or make it resistant to outside effects if needed. People have no insight how to seal their own aura, and they are unable to recognize the negative energy that is dancing on their heads. So if the negative energy start giving you the imaginations, you will be in the wow position. Wow. Oh no, wow. Astaghfirullah. Because you have to develop these things. These are the prerequisites. These are the preparations. So it is very easy. It is very simple, but it's not easy sometimes. Being the organ of subtle spiritual perception and intuition, as a main switch of your body of energy, cardiac eye activation offers a true and real answers of both the shortcomings. So GCLP would allow you to notice when your energetic environment is negative. You have to acquire these skills. Before you start appreciating the positive energy, it is highly desirable to acquire the skills to diagnose the negative energy. And of course, inshallah, GCLP will give you these skills also. And this will also give you the strength how to close your aura. Because sprite and spirit, once they mix, the end product is aura. And I will give you the whole detail, inshallah. So from the initial GCLP techniques, the vibration of the cardiac eye will begin to awaken a high density of protective energy within your aura. This is not based on positive imagination or auto-suggestion. This is something that is totally different from the routine SRTs. But it is dependent on tangible perception of a vibrating energy that has a divine connection. And it's present all around you. So, thank you very much.